Hello, welcome. I'm just realizing well, it's fine. It's fine. Hello, how are we? Oop, there we go. I forgot to click on over to the video portion of things. How are we? Hopefully, we are doing good. Happy March. I have not seen you since February. It's been such a long time. It's been a whole 2 days. But yeah, so hello, welcome. Um, I was somewhat productive around the house this weekend. Um, I think I've mentioned before, we had our deck torn down. We had our patio put up. We had a patio poured. And in the process, they had to replace a couple of the siding pieces, but they left those unpainted. And so we were intending to caulk and paint them. And then we realized we have no idea where the caulk gun went to. Like the thing that you put the tube of caulk in and then it squishes up the anyway, so we don't know where that went to. So we were not able to do the caulk. So I'm gonna have to run to like Home Depot or something and get one. Um, but we went ahead and painted, just to kind of have that extra layer of protection. And then we'll probably like touch up the paint over whatever we do the caulking on. So, um, okay, so there's that. So that was a little bit of productivity. Mom picked up a bunch of branches while we were doing that for the leaf and limb pickup. Because of winter, there's definitely like a bunch of stuff that falls down with the winter storms and everything. And so we have a small pile there. Just kind of odds and ends like that. Talked to my girls last night, so everybody was there. It was nice. It's always nice when everybody's schedule lines up and we can actually have like full conversations between everybody. It's very nice. I have not yet replaced my or redone my dry erase calendar. The days are fine for the most part because they match up, but I need to like redo birthdays and redo appointments and all that kind of thing. But yeah, so there's that. I did not finish one of the physical TBRs over the weekend. That means that February had 0 TBR takedowns, which is disappointing in myself because I was so gung ho at the beginning of the year that I was gonna do several a month for TBR takedown in terms of reading them or deciding to unhaul them, and I did none of that in February. So I have started, I think 2 or 3, but I haven't finished any of them in terms of like reading them or deciding whether or not they're gonna leave the house. Um, so in March, I am gonna like I need to put my foot down and do more of my physical TBR. I don't know if that needs to be the wheel of surprise titles or um, making that a part of the daily habits. Which, like, I mean, I'm reading every day. I'm just not reading the stuff that's on my TBR. So, or the stuff that was already on my TBR, I should say. Because I did get a couple of books that were not previously on my TBR, and now they are. So, kind of going backwards feels like. But yeah, so need to do a little bit of reflection because I haven't done that yet on how February went. Redo some goal / focuses for March. I have my lemon notebook for some handwriting today, as well as my bullet journal is set off to the side there. Yeah, and I need to try out some of the things that I think may work in terms of habit building and trackers and stuff like that. So I need to try that out, which the best time to have planned all that stuff would have been over the weekend so that I could start today. But we haven't done that, have we? No. Anyway, hello. How are we? Renee says hello, hello. Hello. Welcome. Monique is here. Hey, y'all. Hello, Monique. How are you? Happy Monday / start of March. Yes. Yeah, there's a lunar eclipse full moon tomorrow. Full moon is in Pisces, I believe. Or is that the new moon this next month? What is it? No. Okay, so it's full moon. It's the worm moon in Virgo. The new moon in Pisces is in Pisces on the 18th. But yeah, you're right, Monique. Mercury is in retrograde. Like it's all pretty powerful in terms of like if you are writing by the moon or doing any sort of celestial water infusions, that kind of stuff. Yeah, don't forget to put your jars out for tomorrow. For 3/3. And then also remember, if you're going to do tarot, to do your tarot reading, all of that kind of fun stuff. Rachel says hello. Hello. Welcome. Welcome. Renee says thumbs up. Yes. Rachel says I've got chills so bad. Oh no. You not only have layered your clothes, but you also just got your little mini heater out for your office. Oh no. Are you ill? Is where you are unexpectedly cold? Need to get a cold front? It's supposed to be in the 80s this weekend? ? That would be nice. I think we're supposed to get rain. What are we supposed to get? Yeah, like 50% chance of rain Sunday through Tuesday next week. But oh yeah, Friday and Saturday it's supposed to be 81 is the high. So yeah, it'll be nice temperatures for me. Hopefully it will be for you as well. Elizabeth is here. Hello everybody. Hello. Renee took the weekend off from your work in progress, and it feels like so long since you've been in it, or so long since you've taken a break. One or the other. Stace says, I am writing, specifically handwriting. I have almost 1 page written so far. Excellent. Yes, I watched Sarah Cannon's Heart Breathing's notebook challenge for March, and she mentions pulling out The Artist's Way and going through the 12-week program and sort of like whether or not anybody would want to do that sort of like as a group / community. And I will admit, I have tried to do The Artist's Way before and never made it through all 12 weeks. But it could be fun as like a group to start it up again. So, and part of that is the morning pages. Monique is currently working on the Drama of the Undead outline. Nice. Renee says, wow, for Monique, just the name sounds cool. Yes. It's the 2nd book in Monique's YA urban fantasy series. Renee's like, oh my god, 2nd book, yay! Which means there's a whole complete first one. Yes, Monique's first book is called My Ex is a Vampire. Monique will share the link during self-promo. Yes, please do. Neil is here. Hello. Welcome. Just finished work day and childcare. Nice. So your first sprint is going to be self-care. Fantastic. Excellent. Good. It's cloudy and in the 40s. Temperatures have been dropping since the morning. Oh, okay. Yeah. So when you expect the temperature to be warming up, it's instead cooling down, which is no fun. Time to break out your fuzzy socks again, if you haven't already. Renee says, sees a vampire and is instantly hooked. Yes. Rachel agrees. Vampires are awesome. Yes. It's been so long since you've been in the story. Gotcha. Rachel says, oh, wow, I gave The Artist's Way to a friend. There are, I mean, for the most part, like if you remember generally, but I'm sure there's probably some blog posts as well. There's also the Artist's Way workbook. If you don't want to repurchase the regular, you can always do the workbook. But also, I'm pretty sure there are people who have vlogged themselves doing it, or people who've blogged their way through it. So, Renee's vampires are awesome. Yes. You have something similar you'd like to try. Ooh, the Warrior Goddess's Way / training. Ooh, I haven't heard of this one. Who's it by? I'm always curious for more. Like I need another thing to add to my TBR, right? Warrior. Okay, Warrior Goddess Training Become. Where is it? Becoming the Woman You Were Meant to Be. It's by Heather Ash Amara. Is that true? Is that the correct one? And the foreword by Don Miguel Ruiz. I guess I should share the one that I'm. Is it this one? Also, ignore my soap that's in my card. Ignore the soap that's in the card. There we go. Okay, so paperback's about $17. Kindle's about $1. Hardcover's $20. Is this? Yes. Okay, so this is it. Let me share the linky link. There you go. So there's that. I'm gonna bookmark that to go back to and look at it closer. There's also Warrior Goddess Wisdom, Warrior Goddess Way. Oh, okay, so there's multiple. Then there is a companion workbook to the one that we were just looking at. So here's the companion workbook. But yeah, okay. Let's see. Monique says, I used to do the Artist's Way in high school / college, but unfortunately morning pages are not a thing that I can do these days. So I'm going to be honest, it's one of the things that sort of stopped me from continuing the morning pages a lot, because they're like, you must get 3, just like everybody that I've talked to, they're like, you must do the 3 full pages. Like that's what, and I'm like, but my handwriting is small and my notebooks are pretty big typically. And they're like, well, you know, it's just 3 full pages. And I'm like, I don't think you realize just how many words go on a page. Like, like close to 500 go on a page. And then if you're doing, that's 1,500 words. And that usually takes me a while. When I'm handwriting, it usually takes me quite a decent amount of time. And they're like, oh, well, 15 minutes or so. I'm like, 15 minutes? Like, how big of a bubble cartoon handwriting do you have? Not saying that bubble cartoon handwriting is bad. I always think it's really cute. I just can't write it. My handwriting is not cute at all. It's chicken scratch. And so I always am sort of a little daunted by just how much time it takes to get the full 3 pages. And I've heard some people be like, oh, 15 minutes. And I'm like, but that's not anywhere near like 3 pages. And so I don't know exactly how to modify that, I guess. And then there's quite oftentimes there's like a monetary cost of things. because the artist date, oftentimes a lot of the suggestions are going to a coffee shop, like going shopping, finding finding new art supplies. And so it's not going to a movie, going to a concert. Like, it's often sort of like getting yourself out of your comfort zone. Yes, but that means that there is usually some sort of financial or time investment of like leaving your space, which, again, that's the purpose. But at the same time, there is a cost associated to that. So yeah. So there were some good things and some bad things that I noted about the artist's way. Again, I do think that it's a wonderful thing to get started, but I do think that with the artist's way, you do kind of have to modify it for your life, your financial status, like what's your status quo for the month and the 12 weeks, and sort of like the time that you have, because it doesn't always, again, the whole point is to make you sort of like make time, but also you got to remember to give yourself some grace, some weeks, some months, some seasons of your life. And there is a lot of faith-based conversation in her book, which is fantastic if you are of that same faith base or a similar faith base. But sometimes the language that she uses can be a little irksome if you have issues with that particular faith base. Again, not saying it's bad, because in general, having some faith in something is really often very good for you emotionally. But I don't think it works for everybody. I do think it's worth giving a read, because I think that there are some excellent lessons in there. I do think you have to modify it for yourself, because I also found what Kara found, and that when you are doing your morning pages, sometimes your brain starts to spiral into familiar patterns, shall we say. And if your familiar patterns are negative downward spirals, that is not healthy for you. And I found that to be the case for myself as well, which is another reason why I tended to not continue it whenever I started it up. So how do you figure out a way to journal every morning without doing the downward spiral? But again, I think it's worth giving a read once in your life, and sort of figuring out how you want to modify it for yourself, because I do think it requires modification. Okay, I'm going to shut up about that for right now. I have not read the Warrior Goddess's Way sort of training books, so I will have to give that a closer examination, Rachel, because I don't have a review of that. So, but Rachel does indeed have fuzzy socks. Excellent. Good. I am glad. Hopefully they will help keep you warm. Hopefully. Stacy has already pulled your card of the day. It's going to be the 3 of Swords. You're going to try tarot draws every day this month. Nice. But you missed yesterday. Well, I mean, it's okay. It's okay. You couldn't get into the artist's way. Handwriting 2 pages, every day is just made you grouchier. Yeah. It happens sometimes. Kara has pulled from the Enchanted Map deck, Ride the Wave. It's number 14. Right now, success is easy and effortless. Kara begs to differ. Maybe we're not looking at the thing that we are successful at. Maybe we haven't pinpointed exactly what it is, because it is so effortless that we're not thinking of it as a success. Maybe. A friend got the book for you a couple years ago, so if there is a group effort to handle either the Artist's Way or the Warrior Goddesses training, you'd hop in. Yeah. Rachel does not have the workbook. You have plenty of notebooks, though. Use those notebooks. I was actually just looking at spiral notebooks. I was like, I want another cute one. And I'm like, wait a minute. I haven't finished half of my cute ones. I don't need to be looking at more. Also, the Archer and Olive order came in, so I'm very excited about those. Rachel says, yes, no doubt. Everybody is different on words. That's too much for you. Yeah. The three pages, when you have small handwriting and it winds up being close to 500 pages per page, it's a lot. It's a lot. And when I was doing those morning pages every day, handwriting, like my handwriting tended to get both simultaneously smaller and sloppier at the same time. So like, yeah. So, and I oftentimes when I am handwriting and stuff, I don't have a whole lot of indents. It's just, and this is actually pretty dang neat for me. So like, yeah, it just is what it is. That's all I can say. Noticing the third word on there had a typo. Like, how did I not typo, but misspelling, if you will. You have a huge chicken scratch handwriting. You would rather just jump into your day. In any case, you do a lot of recovery writing at this point. Yeah, well, and here's the thing too. Some people like to reflect on their day rather than doing it at the beginning. And so if you were doing both, then that's a pretty big chunk of time invested in your day, which again is not bad, especially if you're trying to get away from your phone. But yeah. Stay says, I'm mainly handwriting because my eyes are still adjusting to working on the computer, but writing in a notebook doesn't seem too bad right now. True. How are your new glasses? Have they come in yet? And are you adjusting to your new glasses yet? Benu Bright, hello, welcome. Good morning to you. Kara says, the artist's date didn't really resonate with me either. At this point, I live in the middle of nowhere, also on a fixed income. If you're honest, it seemed very self-indulgent. I like the idea because it's a bit of creativity outside of the writing. And so if you are on a writer's block and you're searching for anything to spark your creativity, I think it can help. When I was trying to do it, I attempted to like shop from my stash of things that I already had. So like instead of going out to buy something new to create something, just like open the drawers of paint and materials that I already have. So, but it can be very tempting just to go get something new and like the shopping dopamine, you know. So that's why it's a little, you just have to be a little careful with that. If you're on your fixed income or you have too much stuff already or that kind of thing. So if the artist's way works for people, good on them and have at it. You're not one of the ones that particular formula works for. Yeah. Beno says, oh, interesting. I've been wondering about the artist's way. Yeah, it's an interesting concept and it is very highly recommended and it does work for a lot of people. But again, I think it does require modification for everybody. And I, like, again, 100% think that people ought to try it at least once. But there are definitely some things in there that I think require caveats, warnings, like a little grace, if you will. Rachel says, agreed to Kara about the artist's way. Yeah. It's always exciting when something does work for a lot of people because then you know that it's worth giving a try. But yeah, just know that it's not for everybody. You prefer something lighter, but you do modify your systems to your own liking. Yeah, which I think is perfect because again, it's created by someone who's not you, who doesn't know exactly what your life is like. So Kara says, I'm feeling the Three of Swords. We're still clearing your parents' house to sell. Yeah. It always takes so long, clearing out somebody's belongings and household and all that. You were successful at making ramen for lunch. Hey, you fed yourself, which is a major success because now you have body and brain fuel. Binu says, I found that weekly, monthly, and quarterly questions posted by Sarah Cannon / HB90 are extremely helpful. Yes. Yeah. And one thing I really like about Sarah's HB90 stuff is she's constantly going back to it and revising it. So that as she encounters more things from life, and as others who are in her courses and whatnot comment and tell her about things, she is able to integrate it into her system and refine it, which I think is great that she continues to refine things. Rachel's like, ramen sounds good. It does. Kara says, my first thought when you are waking up is usually something along the lines of, oh crap, this again. Yeah, if that's your first thought upon waking up, that's probably not the right journaling system for you. Yeah. Stacy says, I do have the new glasses, but mid-distance is still bothering you too much. Far distance and up close reading seem to be okay. Unfortunately, the computer monitor is at mid-distance. Okay. Yeah. And I don't have a way to fix that. I mean, so I think there is a way for you to modify the size of the text and the icons for your screen, but that doesn't help with everything. So Kara says, I'm attending the Spenders Anonymous meeting, which illustrates that shopping is not something you should be doing. Again, yeah, if you're chasing the dopamine by shopping, that can get you into some real trouble. So again, another reason why that system did not work for you. Yeah. Okay. We do need the cats for the day. I swear, we're going to start at some point today. Sometimes I love chatting with y'all, but sometimes I'm like, why do y'all let me talk so much? Just tell me, Jules, I'm here for the work. Get to work. Anyway, okay. So here are the cats for the weekend. Cats purr within a frequency range of 20 to 140 hertz, which have healing powers per many studies. They missed another bet to have a purr joke with that per many studies. But look at those little faces. They're so cute. I think they heard you open the bag of treats. And then we have slightly more grumpy. I store my resentment until an inappropriate time for an outburst. Aww. This cat looks very regal. But yeah, that does seem to be one of the things that not just cats, but pets and children and life and work all seem to do, is just wait until the inopportune moment. Let's see. Benu says, just FYI, the HB90 workbooks can be purchased from Etsy. Yes, she does have the Heart Breathings storefront. Why was that a hard word for me to find? Don't know. So yeah, you don't necessarily have to purchase the classes, which is true. And she has a great free resource library as well. Kara says, I'm not usually a chatty person, but sometimes it all comes out here, which is fine because sometimes that's what we need. We need a chatty day sometimes. Stay says, oh, that cat is me. I feel called out. The resentment cat. And Monique pulled the 2 of Swords from your Buffy Tarot deck. Ooh. So does that mean we have both the 2 and the 3 of Swords? Let's see. Okay, so Stacy got the 3 of Swords. Monique got the 2 of Swords. If anybody else pulls from swords, let us know. I need to pull mine today, actually. I haven't done that yet. Okay. Okay, we have the brown bear today. Take time out. It's number 9. Here we are. So we have the brown bear. Take time out. Again, it's focusing on like the weirdest. There we go. Take time out. There is a time to act and a time to focus your attention on patient strategizing. The arrival of the brown bear signals that you are best served by foregoing hard work towards your goals at this moment and instead taking the time out to meditate or just take a nap so that you can refresh yourself and begin planning what you want to co-create next. Come to know the lay of the land as you contemplate and imagine what you might do in this vast space of possibility before you and begin to form a plan. Remember, sleep allows for dreaming and rest allows for clear-headed strategizing. How might you become the person you wish to be and experience whatever your heart desires? Insights will arise as you explore the possibilities and begin envisioning your plan. Knowing what you want will ensure you use your energy wisely in the days ahead. Be patient at this time. Relax and be calm and peaceful so that you can recharge. The call for action will come later. So there you go. There is the card for today. Which, granted, like I've been thinking about Q2 a whole lot. Now I know it's like a whole month away, but I've been thinking about Q2 a lot. So again, the bear is probably telling me, yeah, take this month, like really think about Q2 and what you're planning for that. You've got some time, so I don't have to do pedal to the metal this month, but I do need to strategize for Q2. Okay, let's go ahead and pull up a timer. Excuse me. I've got the hiccups. I still haven't. I need to make a springtime timer. Keep saying that. I need to put that on my list for this week because I've said it enough times that it just needs to happen so I can stop talking about it. Oh, it's still going. Hang on. Let me fix that. There we go. Okay. Hello, Mama Maggie. Just in time. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Okay, let's do this. 1, save your document. 2, make sure you take a sip of whatever it is you're hydrating with. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine or roll your shoulders back for that posture check. Make sure you're not slouching too much. And 4 is if you need a break, take a break. Here we go. 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, how we doing? I got a little bit in the document done. I'm now switched to handwriting. I've gone with like a really pretty tealy turquoisey paper mate ink gel, in case you want to know. How we doing? How are we doing? I've still not cracked my bullet journal for the day. I need to, but I haven't. It's okay. We're going to figure things out. Don't forget to answer the poll. Today is about what is your main character running away from? What are they running from? Are they running away from sort of like a childhood trauma? Are they running away from something that they're afraid of? Or are they running away from failure? Or are they running away from fear of failure? Are they running away from being confined or limited somehow by someone or some institution / some social structure that was in place where they were? Are they running away from a stalker or something, or someone who's hunting them, or are they running away from the law? So what's your main character running from? That's the poll for today. Here's where Mom Maggie said hello. Monique was saying you think the Two of Swords applies to Gabby because she is in a stalemate and in conflict between her family and her friend group. Gotcha. Stephanie is here. Hello. Welcome. Welcome. You're trying to figure out which project to start next. You're not sure if you want to continue with the coastal town romance or start a new series that's set in Texas, since you live in Texas now. I was sort of wondering how close to finishing, like how far along are you in the progress of this coastal romance? Could you finish the current coastal and then switch to Texas? But Stephanie says, oh, right. Monique was like, there are coastal towns in Texas, so you could sort of blend them. Andy says, hi. Hello. Welcome, Andy. Stephanie's like, it's true about the coastal towns in Texas. I haven't made it down there yet. But technically, the Coastal Town series is complete as is, has 6 books. So I would say if your Coastal Town stories feel complete and you are wanting to write the Texas story, go for it. Write the Texas story. Stephanie says, I think my brain is just yelling at me about creating all brand new characters from scratch, but you think it would be fun to write a Texas setting. Yeah. I mean, it could be like a cousin of somebody in the other coastal town. And I think it's not bad to switch up the setting at all. I think there are quite a number of authors who do that, actually. Like even Nora Roberts does it. She has some of her sort of like mountainous westerns. She has some that are on the sort of like northwest, like Washington, Oregon. She has some that are on the northeast. She has some that are in the southeast. So yeah, so she hops around in terms of setting as well. So it's not a bad thing to switch up the setting for your stories, especially because there are people who prefer westerns over coastals. There are people who prefer northern versus southern. It could be just a preference thing. It could also be that like somebody is tired of reading like XYZ and they want a new town. So take your stories wherever your heart fancies. I think it's perfectly fine to start your Texas story. Monique has outlined 3 chapters so far. Yay! Excellent. Good job. Funky is here. Hello. Welcome. Do you have enough coffee for everybody? Funky, that's the question. Do we have enough coffee? Charlie is here. Hello, welcome. You're here to get some of your reread done before you start editing your first draft. Nice. Excellent. Monique says, speaking of bullet journaling, you're planning for Gabby to pick up bullet journaling to help her keep track of time, or to keep track of things in the drama of the undead. Gotcha. Yes. Rachel says, I love my coastal town urban fantasy romance. You can't wait to get back to it. You got started, then you had to jump into other projects. Yeah. I mean, coastal towns in general sort of like have a fun vibe. So it makes sense that they are pretty popular. Plus, I think coastal towns are often vacation destinations. And sometimes people want to pick up vacation destination stories while they are on vacation or while they're thinking about vacation. Rich says, so cool to see someone else's writing coastal town goodies. Yes, yes. Stacy said being confined or limited because your main characters were recruited into a spy type faction or organization. They are not running, but it is in fact confining and not pleasant. I would agree. Your headache is coming back, so you have about a page and a half written today. Hey, it's better than nothing, and I'm glad that you got that much done, but hopefully your headache goes away soon. Rachel says, yes, each breading, each new setting brings with it new cultures and character building. And that's one of your favorite things, but you may be biased. So Renee finished 2 scenes, excellent, but realizing that you need to change the 3 establishing moments for the creationship between your main characters. Plot holes, gotta fix them as soon as you can, right? Rachel is sympathizing and hoping that Stacy's headache also goes away. Mom Maggie says, I used to Google Earth you use Google Earth to walk around the locations where you set your books so you can see what make it feel as real as possible. I like it. You've been asked when you have lived in those places because of it. That's a good tip. It is a very good tip. Rachel is also sort of seconding my demand. We need the coffee, Funky. We need the coffee. Monique says, I'm currently trying to build up the masquerade trap. And all right, so here's the question for the masquerade trap. Are you listening to the masquerade song from the Phantom of the Opera? Because I feel like that should be part of your playlist. Funky will gladly share the coffee with us, at least digitally. So thank you. I appreciate it. I will take one. Thank you. Mom Maggie is back from delivering lunch to your grandbabe in the belly. Youngest says hi to everyone. Excellent. Has your daughter and grandbabe, has the pregnancy settled any, or is she still feeling very ill with the food smells? I'm hoping everything's still stable and good. Rachel says, yay for the coffee. Mom Maggie also takes the coffee. Monique is headed to cook lunch. Gotcha. And Rachel says hi to Mom Maggie's youngest. Okay, let's go ahead and do another sprinty sprint. Get a little bit more done. No. Okay, how come there's all of a sudden way more? Okay, we're not quite done yet. Monique is going to drop the link to Monique's novel as well as the GoFundMe for Planning with Kay, who's having to repurchase everything due to mold damage. Here's the link to My Ex is a Vampire, in case Renee is interested in checking it out. Charlie says, I just bought myself 2 new journals from our journal. I may have bought. I may have bought 4. 3 were the A5 and 1 is the square. So yeah, I did take the cellophane off, but I haven't unwrapped them all. But this one is the square is the treasure map. The one with like the seagulls and the mountains and the nautical-esque. And then, oops, that fell over. Then all of the A5s have the like pretty greeny turquoisey colors, but they have gold foiling to indicate which box is which, because the towers are the same for the A5s. So if you want me to show those off to y'all in a little bit, we can definitely do that. You think you figured out the direction you want to go with the Texas versus coastal. Excellent. Help a Mojo enthusiast / sticker maker. Here is the Planning with K GoFundMe. Rachel had a dream last night and came up with a specialized spiritualist for the sci-fi mafia. Yes, please. I like all of that. All of that phrase. Yes. Actually says that is so cool. Agreed. Agreed. You just use some time to write out some goalposts for that character story. Yes. Excellent. Renee's excited and says thank you for the link. Ashley just got the Colombian instant coffee, the Walmart brand, and yes, it's actually very good. Yeah, and much cheaper than the Java you were buying, which you love but was so expensive. Yeah, their decaf is actually pretty good too, and that's what I have had to resort to, which is so sad. I miss my caffeine. Oh no. Hideaki Hata, the president and heart behind Kyoto Animation, has passed away at the age of 76. Violet Evergarden was your favorite anime ever. Oh, that stinks. Ooh. The young is still yet sick with the food smells, but her blood pressure has normalized. Oh, good. Good. Smell of cleaning products made Kara super sick when you were pregnant. Also, you usually love Chinese food, but couldn't stand it when you were pregnant. Does your son like Chinese food now that he's not in utero anymore? Like, I mean, I know he hasn't been a long time, but like, I'm just wondering if that was a preference for him. No question about the journal. I will find a way to use them all. But yeah. Mom Maggie says to Rachel, that is so cool. I was dreaming about my retired assassin turned gardener grandma last night. I love it. Okay, so Mom Maggie says I used to put that in a cup and just milk the goat into the cup. That would actually be, it sounds like it would be great. Nature's frothing. Yeah, that would be great. That would be fantastic. Ashley also loves that idea. Kara gave a small donation to Planning with Kay. Wish you could do more. Every little bit helps, I am sure. He loves Chinese food. Okay. Oh, that's so fun. Okay, let's go ahead and do the second sprint. And yeah, it's only 2:19. It's 2:19 already, I should say. Not only, it's 2:19 already. So we will, I think, need to do some overtime in order to get our full third sprint in. Hopefully y'all are okay with that. It's thinking about it. It's thinking about it. Okay, I think this will be close enough. Okay, so 1, save your document. 2, make sure you have a sip. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine. Roll your shoulders back for that posture check. Make sure you're not slouching too much. And 4 is if you need a break, take a break. Here we go. 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, that's the end of the second sprint. How'd we do? I am trying to figure out how I want to do a couple things structure-wise for tracking habits. The easiest way, I don't really like the look of it, and it feels easy, but I think maintaining it would be hard. So I don't really want to do that. I'm like, how do I do this? So I'm still not quite sure. But we are maybe going to get something done with it anyway. So one thing I love having perforated notebook paper. I don't love the stringies that it leaves behind for spiral bound notebooks. I really don't. But anyway, it is at least a start, and maybe I can figure it out. Okay, I'm scrolling up because Mom Maggie was saying absolutely in terms of like no shame for notebooks. Yeah, Mom Maggie's hubby thinks all the journals in the deep drawer of the desk are all leftovers from the kids' school days. It's our secret. Nobody has to know. It's talking about Mom Maggie just using the goat milk into the instant coffee. Kara says, when I was a kid, we would get fresh goat milk from some farmers that your father knew. You like raw goat milk. You don't like it pasteurized. It tastes like goat hair when it's been pasteurized. I don't think I've ever had non-pasteurized milk. I don't think. Yeah, I don't know that I have. But I think we've had some fresh butter and cream and goat's cheese. So I don't know if those were technically pasteurized or not. I don't know. No clue. Don't know. Rachel's Hubs is about to have the launch party. Here's the link for the Firefly Meets The Expanse with Reverse Harem and Isekai. I think that's what the RH means. Maybe. Kara says, I have a new book promo up at Reader's Roost. So there's that. Charlie was having technical difficulties. Scrivener was throwing a fit about opening one of the files. You have it backed up elsewhere, so you will survive, but it's the principle of the matter. Yeah. But just discovered the issue. You're not home, and the Wi-Fi that you're currently on now sucks. The document is saved to the iCloud and not actually on your computer. Gotcha. Yeah, that's one of the things that I've been frustrated with. Like Microsoft OneDrive is like, I don't want it to save to the drive. I want it to be saved on my computer. And the default is just always on the cloud. And it's frustrating. Mom Maggie says, working on putting up the hardcover copies of Relic of Time War series with generic covers since a certain corner of AuthorTube has targeted Mom Maggie for using non-generative AI filters to make your badly photoshopped images of the sci-fi fantasy series. Evidently, just that means that your books are all written by generative AI. I have not heard of this. Did not know that you were a target for that. I'm sorry. That's frustrating. And you did the photoshopping and putting together of your cover, so it's not even like that's weird. That's very weird. Anyway, support Mom Maggie. Here are Mom Maggie's books. Like your covers are What? It just doesn't make any sense to me. Just does not make any sense. Funky says you got work writing done, but more importantly, got more coffee. Excellent. Good. Stacy has nearly 2 pages written. Yay, you started the tea and the dishwasher and took the dog out. Excellent. Good use of time. Renee finished one more scene. It's mostly a fight scene that you are shockingly proud of. Excellent. It's so nice when we finish a scene, you're like, yeah, that was good. That was good. You prefer the spiral notebooks with the perforated edges. Yeah, I feel like they oftentimes get flatter when you set them on the desk than some of the like book bound ones. Some of the book bound ones that don't have the lay flat binding are frustrating, shall we say. Especially if you're writing with gel that tends to smear. Renee says also decided to change your main characters from childhood friends to lovers, to enemies to lovers instead. Oh, okay. Then you got to make sure you get the enemy part right, because there are some people who are very particular about their enemies to lovers. I'm not one of them. I'll just read anything, just about. I probably shouldn't say I'll read anything, because there are some things that I don't think I would read. But yeah. Stace says, I'm using a school notebook right now. Yes. A very thick one. Yeah. Charlie made it through taking notes on a monster of a chapter that it's going to have to be cut up. Somehow it's nearly 9,000 words. Well, dang. That's a chunky. It's a very chunky chapter. I would agree that would probably have to be cut for both your own sanity's sake when you're editing, and for ease of reading. Corporations don't understand how paranoid writers are. Should we rephrase that into corporations don't understand how paranoid they make writers? Because I feel like it's not all paranoid writers' fault. I mean, some of us might be, but like I feel like, conspiracy theories have a lot of weight sometimes. So is it our fault entirely that we're paranoid? I don't know. Kara says some people are so stupid. Yeah. Not an artist and can't afford one. You used AI to help create the cover for your last poetry volume, but that doesn't mean you used AI to create poetry. Yeah, and Mom Maggie put together the pieces and just like put a filter over it. So it's not. It shouldn't be a reason to target Mom Maggie, so it didn't make any sense to me. It's like an overcorrection of the AI problem on Amazon, right? Yeah. Yeah. And meanwhile, there's also like a children's book about a mom who does OnlyFans, and the kid thinks that she sells fans. And I'm like, how is this an appropriate book? And yet, Mom Maggie says, I've repeatedly explained my cover process from Photoshop and sketches using filters, but that doesn't matter when people have AI derangement syndrome. Yeah, true. Yeah, and you've talked about it. You've shown the process. You've shown your progress on your lives and whatnot. So, like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, do they really think their cover illustrators are not doing the same thing? Are filters allowed when it's a quote-unquote professional illustrator, but not an amateur? Doesn't make any sense. It's a witch hunt, and they need to stop. But you feel like they love the attention they get. Yes, this is true, from accusing people, so they refuse to take it back. Yes, because drama channels and exposés of scandals draw a lot of attention, therefore boosting their own algorithm and whatnot. So yeah, so I've seen quite a number of channels that I originally followed for, and this is across the spectrum of like content type stuff, because there's like some crochet people that do it too, that they get to a place where they've built their following and it's really good following, and they have started doing design things, and then they start doing other, they're like, let's talk about this controversy that's going on in our community, is usually how it starts. And then those blow up with numbers. And so then they're like, oh, talking negatively about other people in our community is how to get views and subscribers. Putting myself in the righteous chair while tearing other people down is what gets the views and the money and so then they begin incorporating that into their content more often. So it's not just an authortube thing. I think it is a failing of our internet lives, if you will. So like the booktube community did it, the crochet community did it, the makeup people did it big time, and there's like people who talk about overconsumption, underconsumption, people who talk about the financial gurus, people who talk about the it's just like a bunch of the people who tout themselves as like researchers and honest people and authentic, you just bringing you the news, are really just bringing you drama. And we follow because we want to watch the train wreck. We want to watch the raccoons scramble over the cotton candy. It's just like we watch dumpster fires. We watch train wrecks. It's hard to look away from them sometimes, and people have realized that, and so they're like, yes, let's put the dumpster fire in your face and see what it gets me. I'll light the dumpster on fire if I have to. And so yeah, so I think a lot of drama is manufactured, including accusing Mom and Maggie, which I did not know was apparently going on. So apologies for being oblivious, Mom Maggie. Kara says to Rachel, so true. That's why I avoid the booktube drama. People create drama where there shouldn't be any. Yeah, and like there's a whole drama about like, I mean, okay, so one of the reasons booktube and book talk are kind of frustrating for me is that there is this expectation that you must read certain books. Like you have to. Otherwise, you're not up to date. Or if you're not reading books that are coming out this year, this month, you're behind. And like, why would people go to you for reviews if you're behind? I'm like, what if I don't want to read those? Like, do I have to read them? Can I wait until other people who are faster readers read them and then like sort of get a read on whether or not a book is okay? Because, or wait till the library has it, or the thrift store. So it's just like, do I have to read the books you declare? What if I'm not in the mood for that book today, this week, this month, this year? Anyway. Mom Maggie says to Rachel and Funky, agreed, they refuse to see that there's a difference between generative and non-generative AI. Yeah, and that's, I think, because one, they want the drama, but also because some people are just scared of all of it, and they don't realize that AI has been a part of their lives for longer than they really think. So, Kara says, I read a book last year that you're 90% certain was completely AI. You didn't accuse the author of using AI to write the book. You just stated your problems with the story, same as always. Yeah. Funky's like, they're literally judging a book by its cover. They are. Ashley said, I see it happen all the time in Facebook writer groups, which is why you left most of them. Yeah. You just don't like the arguing and the mean comments. Like, let people do it how they want to do it. Many cover artists do use AI now. Yeah, because the whole thing about AI and computer assisted things is that you write the program to do specific things to make your time more efficient. So if you are wanting to have a watercolor gradient in the background or a watercolor landscape, and you don't want to sit there and draw 10,000 leaves on a tree, there are programs in Procreate and other Illustrator softwares and whatnot that have a brush that has leaves that it, like, that's technically AI. Spell check, technically AI. Using your phone, tons of AI in there. Text to speech, or speech to text. Technically, it's artificial intelligence because it is recognizing your speech patterns, and then it's acting according to the coding it has to then put it into text using binary code and whatnot. So, like, you cannot escape it at this point. But there are some things that are still good and useful and efficient that are not generative stealing from people. So, anyway, that is very frustrating, and I'm sorry that it has happened, and sorry that it's causing drama amongst. Kate is here. Hello. Finally able to sit down and doing some sprints. Excellent. Welcome. Mom Maggie says hi to Kate. Rachel says that's where I see a lot of it on Facebook groups. You just slowly stepped backwards out of those groups. Yeah. True. Ashley says, so many clients have come to me with finished books saying they really don't think they could have finished their book without the help of AI. Over 75% of books we edit now are written with AI help. Yeah, well, and that's the thing, is like when people write an extremely helpful writing tool like Pro Writing Aid or Spell Check or the Grammar Check, that's technically AI. And if you don't have the money to pay an editor outright until you've had a book or two under your belt, like, you have to use those, or you have to spend a gazillion hours. So it's here to stay. Whether people like it or not, it's here to stay. Kara says, I think it's similar to people who body shame people because they know they got comments from doing that. Yeah. Rage baiting is a thing. Yeah. A lot of people don't understand the difference between AI assisted and AI generated with book creation. True. Agreed. Kate's agreeing as well. You just hired a designer on Fiverr to make you a word search book, and I told him you were good with him using AI to make the puzzles since he might have to anyway. You're totally fine with it. Yeah. Because again, if a computer program is written to make it so much more efficient and worth your time, that's something. Rachel saw a TikTok of someone trying to listen to William Faulkner on audiobook because someone judged her for reading too much book smut. And after 25 seconds, she's rolling her eyes and walking away. Yeah, well, it's like if you read for two completely different reasons. Like if you read for enjoyment and escape, and if you read for catharsis and emotional release, those are two extremely different purposes and genres and writing styles. Like very different. And so to be told you have to read one thing or the other just makes you not want to read. And so it's like just read what you want. Read what you want. Enjoy it. If you enjoy it, please tell us. Please tell us what you loved about it. If you didn't enjoy it, you can tell us that. We don't have to listen to it, but we can tell you. Like, you can, it's It's fine. But yeah, if you enjoy it and you would like other people to read it, please like share that. But like you don't have to be so weird about it. I don't know. Like it's just that like, oh, you have to read this. And like, oh, you haven't read this yet? Why? It's been out for a month. Like the library doesn't have it yet. Or the library has a waiting list, In the Amish romance genre, we have very few options for stock images. Also true, yes, everyone uses the same ones. So now almost all of the new Amish covers you see are AI, and the readers love them because it's new images for them. And most of the readers are older, okay? Which means they probably can't tell the difference, honestly. Yeah, even most of the readers are mostly over 65. Yeah. Yeah, we have been using AI for years. Yeah. Yeah. Mom Maggie says the majority of my readers are over 40 for Pagosa Cliffs, and they love the covers you built from the photographs uploaded, processed, and downloaded. Yeah, because your covers are good. Like, you're going to copy and paste your chapters into AutoCrit. Yes, you've never used it, but it will be a great help to finish the novel. Exactly. Ashley says, I can spot it pretty easily now, but it's okay. We specialize in rewriting the AI isms to sound less AI. You're all for it when it helps people. Yeah, agreed. Yeah. Faulkner is definitely more for a literary reader. Agreed. Yeah. Yep. So that's what's happening in book talk. That's what's happening in book talk right now. Yeah. Yes. People do need to calm down about a lot of things, but it's a circus. Yes, I would agree with that. Again, I'm not on TikTok, but I like there's enough that comes through to Instagram and to YouTube that I'm like, it sounds like a hot mess. People have been fussing about how they all need to read more literature. Yeah. But what is literature? Is it the classic like white man literature, or is it the literature that the literature world has been ignoring for years? Yeah. And I'm like, read what you want. Exactly. Exactly. Rachel also loves autocrit. Yes. Heather, he is here, has been lurking. Yes, we can't no, we can't win. We can't. One way or the other. There's always gonna be somebody with a complaint. Kara says, I bought a lifetime subscription to AutoCrit 3 years ago and use it a lot. Yeah. Yeah. I will never be on TikTok. Says Kara. It's kind of a scary new realm, right? Oh well. Okay, we need to do one more sprint because we have been very chatty today, but we need a little bit more work done, right? So let's do one more sprint. And sorry, because of my new monitor and DVD player, things are like not in the right position. So I sometimes have to look around them. So I know that's probably a little weird, but let's do this. Which one do we want? Let's do the morning again. Okay. From a library, let people read what they want. Exactly. Yeah, 50% of something, 50 something percent of adults don't read even one book a year. Yeah. Well, and yeah, the grade level literacies are pretty abysmal for literacy rates for kids. So, like, let people read. Let them read while they want to. Encourage the reading. Okay, let's do this. 1, save your document. 2, take a sip. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine or roll your shoulders back for that posture check. or is make sure if you need a break, take a break. Here we go. 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, I managed to finish the scene. Yay! Excellent. Despite all of the other things that I was doing today as well. Just like finishing a scene is always nice. Feels like a bit of a success. Feels like fun and good times. Okay. Renee also got another scene done. Yay, but you have to hop off for food. Thanks for the sprints and the wonderful company. Wishing you luck on all your projects. Thanks. Funky got the work writing done. Yay! Excellent. Now you can hopefully have some fun writing to do today, right? Or hopefully clock out soon. One or the other. I did pull my Archer and Olive things out of the box because I said I would show them off. I didn't get too many of the like accessory type stuff. I did get the Dragon Spire washi set, which is the four washies. I think 3 of which I might use. One of them I'm not entirely sure. This is the one I'm not sure that I will use very often. It seems more like a Halloween type. I don't think I will use it very much. However, this one is pretty neutral. It's like black with a gold hollow. I don't know if you can see the hollow on there or not. Let me see if I can catch the light. And the answer is no. So this one's neutral enough that I might be able to use that relatively. And then this one, I love the like watercolor gradients on it, so I will use this. And then this one is a white with like pale burgundy, purpley background, and then the sketch of the dragons and the castle. I think I will use these two in conjunction with each other, and probably also this one. But I don't know that this like bright purple doesn't go with many things. So I'm not sure how to use that one, essentially. So that's one. I got that, and then I got the violet legacy ink from Archer and Olive because I don't have a purple ink pad. I was like, that could probably go with it pretty well. So I got that. Got those. I'm hoping it will go well. The violet color will go well with it. And I got the Dragon's Fire sticker set and stamp set. And then I got the stickers for the Knight's Sword and the Books of Beauty. So the stamps, Rachel says you got several more chapters waded through. Still have a lot to go, but you need an eyeball break. Fair enough. Charlie got through another chapter of taking notes on your draft. Excellent. Here are the dragon stamps. Got a little banner under my hand. I like them. I think they'll add nicely to the dragon stamps that I already have. They're from a different company, obviously. So those are the dragon stamps, and it's got the sword on it. So I think that will be a nice sort of conjunction with the sword journal. I'm going to close this up again. So that was the stamp set. And then I've got the stickers as well. You're almost at 4 pages. Nice. I thought you were going to take a break because your headache gone away? Hopefully so. Nice. Okay, and so these are the same sheet, just 2 of them. And so they've got some nice, fun dragons and books and castle on there. So got that. So 2 sheets of those stickers. And then I also got the Knight's Sword and the Books of Beauty. here's the Knight's Sword, which I feel like the Knight's Sword ought to be in this color, but they like swapped the packaging for for a lot of the things, feels like. So here's the Knight's Sword sticker set, which the book itself, the journal itself, is more of the red rather than the light blue type thing. But I'm kind of excited about those. I've also got some additional stickers coming from Journal Say that are like medieval themed. So I can do a whole medieval fantasy situation with both of those journals. It'll be nice. I can't close this up again, apparently. Once you open it, it doesn't want to go back again. And here are the Books of Beauty stamp. I do like that mirror. It's got the gold on there, as does the candelabra there. Does the, yes, the teapot has it too. You got some little gold sparklies here as well, and on the spine of the books down here. Very nice. A bit of sparkle. We do like a bit of sparkle, don't we? Kate says, I got a lot done. 1 page filled out. You'll fill the rest today. Nice. Monkey says, thanks as always for the sprints. You're welcome. Headache has not gone away, but you are just writing when you feel like it and not because I need to. Okay, good. Kate says, I will try to get back here on Wednesday. Life is finally letting me get more organized. Yay! Excellent. Good. Now, I did get the square for the treasure journal because I wanted to see how the Archer and Olive square compared to the Tifosi square, which is what I'm currently using. Very nice. So I didn't realize that the back had the wave impression as well, which is fun. Got the decoration on the spine, being the compass wheel, compass rose, whatchamacallit. So there's no gilding, as far as I know, on the edges of this release. Again, not numbered, just very pretty. And if we are comparing sizes, they are essentially the same size. So if you have Archer and Olive and Tifosi squares, they are essentially the same size. So they would look very nice on the shelf next to each other. So I think that was a good option. So this will be for something. Again, I'm not entirely sure. I'm trying to decide what my goal and health tracking journal is going to be, like which one of my mini notebooks I have. So that is an option. That is definitely an option. And then we have, this one's the Dragonspire actual notebook. Let's see. Stacy had to cross out quite a few words that were typos or misspellings when you're handwriting, but not enough to make that much of a difference. Nice. Charlie says you've always loved the spines on Archer and Olive notebooks. Yes. And they've gotten so much better at doing the big full design, which is great because they're so fantastic. Okay, so this is the Dragonspire, and it has that hollow, full hollow gilding, and it's just so stinking cool. So it's hard to do the color shift there. Maybe, yeah, there we go. There's the rainbow. But it's just so intricate. I love it. I've got a bunch of stained glass stickers that'll be great for this. It's got a not quite woven, but definitely intricate pattern on the back, or I mean on the spine. So there it is. There's the castle on the mountains with the dragon. It's so pretty. When I first saw that, my immediate reaction was must have, will get. Broke the no buy. So that one is the Dragon Spire. I also, with the Books of Beauty, was like, must have. Very pretty, must have. So let's do that one next. It has the rose emblem on the spine box. Spine box? The box is spine. Y'all would think that I could talk, but apparently not. So it is sort of like a it's like almost a mint, but like a dark mint. So it has the vines, and then it has the books and the coffee or tea cup. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. This one does have an emblem on the back, whereas the Dragon Spire does not. So, but it's just so pretty. It's like, it's really pretty. Love it. And I love that all the books have different, I don't think any of the books have the same gilding on it. So if we're looking at all of the spines there, none of the spines have the same gilded art, gilded pattern. So again, I went, ooh, pretty, must have. Anything that's like fairy tale adjacent, I'm like very much in love with. And then the last one that I got was the Knight's Sword, which has the sword and sun rays. Let's see, Stacey's also doing a bit of exposition, bringing up things that happened in the first book, in this first chapter, starting to explain some of the changes that are going to occur. Nice. Choice. I always, yeah, okay, yeah, got that one right. Mom Maggie is making all the hardcovers identical and in quartets with the same background cover. Okay, nice. But it's really tedious. Gotcha. Yeah. It's giving you the chance to update the back matter as well, which is valuable, right? We hoped it wasn't necessary, but it is valuable. Okay, and then the Knight's Sword. It's a much darker, deeper red in person than what it shows up on camera. I will say that. So it's a little, unless you're catching the light, in person, the design here is a lot more subtle because of the darker color. And we do have the sort of Celtic geometric braided border going on here. And they have the design just not gilded on the back. And here's the spine. So I have plenty of options to choose from. Love it. So pretty. You always love a sword on literally anything. Yeah. So this one, I was like, I need it. Like it's not as like specific to one particular fairy tale, but I also have had this in my Amazon cart for a really long time. And while it's not an exact match for the border, this could be really, like, these are stamps. Sorry, I should have prefaced with that. This will be a really fun way to decorate these pages. and sort of have some consistency there. But yeah, so that'll be fun. I'm going to play with a lot of things with these journals. And as I said, I do have some more stickers coming from Journal Say that are medieval night themed goodness. So I spent my birthday money early, essentially. And now I have even more pretty journals. I don't really know how many I'm up to at this point. So there's that. Okay, well, hopefully you enjoyed me showing off those, and hopefully it didn't take too long. Because I know sometimes when I'm unboxing things, I'm like, it takes me forever. Heather got some YouTube Substack planning and admin done and walked the dog. Nice. Excellent. Okay, so our last order of business is the poll for today. What is our main character running from? Are they running from their childhood trauma? Are they running from some fear in general, or a fear of failure specifically, or a failure that did happen? Are they running away from being confined or limited by something where they were? Or are they being stalked or hunted, or are they being chased by the law? Heather says, love the stamps. Maggie says, you always find the prettiest books. I do, and my wallet does not thank me for that. They do not thank me for that, that's for sure. Okay, so 42% of our main characters are running from fear or failure. 29% are running away from being confined or limited in some capacity. And 24% are running away from their childhood trauma. And only 5% are being hunted by the law or someone, or being stalked, which is good. I think it's a good thing that we don't have so many stalkers and whatnot. So, all right, y'all. Thank you very much for staying with me till 4 o'clock. And I will hopefully see y'all on Wednesday. And then again on Friday. All right. Thank you very much, and see y'all later. Don't forget to save. Bye.